And we are live. Get my notes here. Open this comment. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully still staying safe and inside and whatever else, wearing a mask and being a responsible adult. How are you this evening, Rob?
I'm good.
Good.
I had my credit card stolen today, but besides that, today was good, yeah.
Did you really? I just had that happen to me about 2 weeks ago. I got fished.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think they're out in droves looking for people during this. And I'm good at that. I pride myself on not falling for stupid things, but something got me. And they put on these crazy charges on my American Express and Visa, but I was fast.
They caught it for me, so I didn't get penalized. But and then I see mine. They stole it out of the mail though. They stole like a card.
Really?
Yeah, and it's the second time that's happened. So I called the post office and I filed this big official complaint. And it was actually really fun. They were like super nice to me at the post office, and they're like starting a case, and I felt like official.
Wow, well that's good.
Yeah.
What else we got? Today's Star Wars Day. It is May the 4th. So May the 4th be with everyone. I'm doing a different Star Wars mug today. My Darth Vader one. My wife got me. Let's see. Interesting news today. I heard they are making a scripted version of Tiger King. They're going to make a mini series, and Nicolas Cage is going to be starring in it as the Tiger King. I think that's kind of fun and interesting. All right. Well, I think that's. Well, we'll give it one more minute. I want to get going today. I surprisingly have a lot to go over, even though I didn't have anything planned. Okay. This is a good enough time. So we'll get started. I'm not going over any albums today, but I looked over a lot of your questions, and I think a good way to kind of answer them naturally without going into everything, I'm going to do a bunch of lightning rounds. And I haven't gone over this with any of the guys yet, so they don't know what's coming. But we're going to go over albums, side projects, and everything with just no planning, a minute sentence or two, or if you don't have anything to say, go meh. And I'll start, since it's just you and me on right now, with our side projects.
Cool.
So,
yes,
I got a little banner here. Let's start with Deli Meat and the French Eroticas.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, that was we got offered some studio time, and Dave
free studio time.
Dave and Dave are friends who we talked about, who played horns on all our albums, and we were in PUM with. They came with us, my friend Adam and Mike Gilmore, Tarbring's drummer, and we went into the studio and wrote 3 songs, 4 in a day. And those are the ones that ended up on our Seaside album. Have anything to say about any of the songs? Dr. Mantis and the Diabolical Tooth, I think, was my favorite.
I love all those Deli Meat and the French Erotica songs. They're like so fun and weird, and like we came up with them all so quick, and you guys did such a good job on the lyrics and the story. Like, yeah, Dr. Mantis, that story's hilarious.
I brought that in. I'm just like, all right, I'm going to write a verse and a chorus, and told Dave to do the same, just about a superhero, make it funny. And comes back with Lord inviting. And just his story, he gets the bad guy by not inviting him to his birthday party. That's genius.
It's so funny.
All right, lightning round. Number 2, the Pastries. I was doing a sitcom. I like entertaining. I'm a ham, so I tried out for a sitcom that was going to be filmed in Chicago, I think at Harpo Studios, actually. And like 3,000 people auditioned for it, and I actually got the role. And of course, it was the role of the struggling musician. But when I first read the script, it was pretty funny, and it was kind of cool, and I wanted to play it weird. And then something happened, and some time went off. And
the show, also to explain, was like a cross between Friends and like Cheers, right? For a new generation.
Yeah. It was a guy, I think he won the lottery, not huge, but enough. He quits teaching and he opens up a bar, and in the bar there's different apartments, and that's the cast of characters that come in. And I remember liking the first script. I think it was kind of funny, and then some time went off and it was rewritten, and they lost a lot of the funding, and it came back, and all of a sudden my character was just typical kind of dumb guy, and I still try to play him well. But anyway, they wanted a band for the show, for the struggling musician characters, and they're trying to figure it out. And I said, I got the guy for you. So I called up Rob, and we made the Pastries. And then the show went absolutely nowhere, but we kept going with the Pastries for about a year, which was fun.
And there was Allison, who was one of the singers, a female singer in the Pastries for a while. She was also an actress in the sitcom. And then we got our buddy Tim Cherry to play drums, who me and Tim had nothing to do with the sitcom. But yeah, that was fun pop. We put out like a couple of demos and played like at least a half dozen shows, right? Honestly,
I think we might even have a couple more songs that never got released. So maybe next time I'm digging, I'll see if there's any really bad demos out there people haven't heard. But I think everything that's worth hearing from it got released somewhat.
We spent a lot of time actually with the Pastries. Like we went pretty hard for like a year and a half that it was in existence. We wrote quite a few songs, and like I said, we played at least a half dozen shows, and some of them were out of town too. Like it was.
We played with the Pastries. Was it the Pastries? Yeah, with Blue October. They're kind of a big band.
They're huge. Yeah, we opened.
And I remember we got in trouble because I was swearing too much on stage. Like really, at a rock show at a bar, they actually came over the intercom and said, "Could you stop swearing so much?" So I think after every song, you and I were just doing it just to be snotty.
Yeah. We've gotten in trouble for swearing, for bleeding too much on stage, for spitting too much on stage. Pretty much anything you can get in trouble for on the stage.
Blue October didn't invite us on tour after that show. All right. That's a nice quick Pastries. How about Pum? You start with Pum.
Pum was basically deli meat in the French eroticas, but like now we're going to be serious or whatever. And so it was Dave Weiner and Dave Smith, who at the time were in one of our favorite bands called the Baltimores. Now Dave Smith's in Muka Pazza, and Dave Weiner writes music for commercials and stuff that you see on TV. And we've got a cool band now called Pons and Fleshman. Anyway, so it was us and who am I forgetting? Who else? Was Tim Cherry also in that band?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was Tim.
And it was like our kind of like our foray into like kind of quirky pop, you know, like quirky indie pop, a la like Beta Band meets what's another quirky indie pop band? Jellyfish, maybe, that kind of vibe.
Yeah, I liked Pum. Another great Dave songwriting, The Reason. I always liked that song, the lyrics.
So
going
good.
through all the reasons why you could be sad, but it's not any of that. It's just sad that no one remembered his birthday.
Mm. He's got a thing with birthdays, doesn't he?
He does,
Between Dr. Mantis and The Reason.
Yeah, I'm a fan of his birthday songs. I feel like I had something else. Yeah, we played some shows live with Pum. I just found a few clips from our Fireside show the other day.
Whoa.
I didn't remember Cro-Magnon Man, because we never recorded that. And we covered Just What I Needed by the Cars.
Yeah, we did a cool cover of Just What I Needed. And also it was cool, Dave Smith played bass, but he also played baritone sax, and he would play them at the same time. So his left hand would be doing hammer-ons on the bass, and his right hand and his mouth were on the bari sax, and he was literally playing saxophone and bass guitar at the same time, and he would do it live, and it's amazing, and he pulls it off. It's like he's a genius, and that was like a Pum show. That gives you a little idea. And Kevin, weirdly enough, played keyboards in that band, and I played guitar, of all things. That was quite a turnaround. And you didn't really sing that. You sang a lot of backups, but Dave and Dave kind of sang lead in that band. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that fireside show. I had a relatively new girlfriend at the time, and while we were on stage, she was making out with another guy in front of him. So that was on my head the whole time. Yeah. It's kind of hard to focus on the music you're supposed to be playing when your girlfriend's in the crowd making out with another guy. That's my take on Pump. 3 to 1 Activate. Quick side project there. Yeah, I think that's Doors Out. We kind of told that already. Tubbering was kind of at the end of the day. We started 3 to 1 Activate. MTV came a-calling. We went back to being Tubbering. Anything else to add? 3 to 1 Activate.
We did a little bit of touring with 3 to 1 Activate. We played around the Midwest. We like, it was cool. It was one of those things where, you know, we were trying to sound a little different than Tubbering. It wasn't like a different Tubbering. It was supposed to be more poppy, but it also was like a stark reminder to me, actually, or a stark lesson learned when we started touring. It was like, thought, oh, well, all the Tubbering fans will just come to the 3 to 1 Activate show. And that just didn't happen. So it was almost like starting, which is fine, you know, hey, I get it. But it was like almost like starting again. And that, I remember, I felt like the music was fun, but it was like, gee whiz, like, okay, like this is literally starting from scratch from being a band again, which there was a little bit of a bummer when we toured.
Well, then it became Tubbering, and then the fans came back. It is the name Tubbering. And finally, you know, I'm not going to go over all your solo projects, Rob, no offense, because then we'll be here all day. You have about 90, not even solo, but projects with other people too. And given time, you have 10 or 15 of those going. But I also don't want to go over the Super 8-Bit Brothers, because I kind of agree with a lot of people. That deserves its own show. If not, it does. Super 8-Bit Brothers. I consider it a project. It's about to me with Tubbering. So yeah, Super 8-Bit Brothers.
Upcoming episode, then, is what you're saying.
Yeah, next time.
Okay.
All right, I think then that ends the lightning round of side projects. And now we can get back to Tubbering. And what better way to get back to Tubbering than talking with our first guest of the evening, longtime bass player extraordinaire, Jason Fields. Hi, Jason.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
Oh, boy. Nice to see you guys.
We didn't have too much time for like a pre-interview because we were playing with technical problems. But
yes,
unlike usual Tubbering, we got all the technical problems figured out before we had to go on stage.
Are we going to have to do a show without a guitar player?
Yes. So, what have you been up to?
Oh, pretty busy, actually.
Yeah.
Obviously, well, you guys know, but people don't know, I've been driving a tour bus. I own a bus now, so now I drive bands. And, well, we were the first ones shut down. And so now I'm doing construction runs to fill the void until tours pick up again. And construction's pretty essential right now, so I'm very busy.
That's good. You have to be busy. I tell my wife that because she's still working. And it's like, I'm glad you're working, blessed that you have an essential job, but she has to watch everyone else not working and kind of having fun.
Right.
But it's good that you get to continue to work. I was going to say one of our original members, but yeah, the original member. Jason is the one that came up with the name Tubbering. So blame him.
I'm very sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, well.
Was there any alternate names that you were floating around?
Not at all. That was it.
And apparently there were alternate names that we were floating around because if you remember, we all said immediately like, no, that's dumb. But then we never changed it.
Yeah, we're in Jeff Walker's basement.
Yeah.
Now
we're Tubbering.
That's what it is. Exactly. I still got, I sent you the picture. I got it right here still. The very first time I ever wrote.
Look at that. Tubbering written on a piece of paper.
Very first time sitting on the toilet. My mom yelled up and said, Jason, clean that Tubbering. And I wrote it down when I was in a different band. And I don't know if it was a note to remind myself to clean that Tubbering or if I had intentions with it. But yeah, I've stumbled across it in that Chandler's from junior year in high school. And then, yeah.
And
Sorry again.
how long did you toured all of Drake, Fermi, Zoo Hypothesis? It's a good.
Yeah, it was a lot of touring.
Yeah.
I added it up once because I had a lot of the shows saved from the website, and then I tried to guess roughly all those other shows, the whale shows, all that, the Gateway, and it was almost 1,000 shows that we had played while I was in the band.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you rank the albums, Jason, or at least the ones that you played on? Because you played on.
Yeah, of course. I kind of agree with what Kevin said. I really was proud of that last thing we did together, and that was awesome. It sounded great. And Zoo is definitely a great album. I mean, there's stuff in Drake that's still just stellar. I listen back to him. I can't even remember how to play half that stuff. And there's a couple of good tracks in Fermi, Yeah.
That's that, all right. You agree?
I mean, there's a couple of good stuff on Sci-Fi. There's a couple of things that could have been something a little bit better. They had a little bit of something there, but yeah, Choice of Catastrophes and Drake Equation and Zoo, my top three.
Cool. Not to put you on the spot, have a good time recording Choice of Catastrophes?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, it was a totally different way to do it, of course, and it felt rushed, of course. But it came out differently, I think, because of that. But yeah, I'd love to have had more time.
Who knows? We might have. Sometimes you can overwork on a song and ruin it.
It's true, but I think that's kind of one of the Tubbering things, though, right? Sometimes it goes just a little too far. Layer. That's what makes it what it is.
Since any of us had seen each other since then.
No. How long has it been? Yeah.
It's been at that point. Even longer than the 7 years we were off, I would figure.
It was like 2005, beginning of 2005, I think, up till but then I saw you for that band.
Yeah, when I did it. That's another story. We'll save that for another.
Totally different story, yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, how about Jason? Would you like to take part of one of our lightning rounds?
I would love it.
This one. I'm gonna go crazy here. Oh, there. So, and there's going to be a fast lightning round because I don't have much to say. Why don't we go over Super Sci-Fi Samurai Rockstar Ultra Turbo 2 version 3.6? The title that...
I love that title. It's so horrible. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, like, around that era, everything had a new version?
Yes. And in fact, I think it was originally version 3.1, and Rob told me that's like the new Windows that just came out. So we changed it to version 3.6.
No, that's great. I love it.
Ultra Turbo 2, obviously being from Street Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Weird dorks. Song number 1, Uberwagon. Once again, I'm psychic. I saw a green station wagon driving with wood side paneling. It was just full of people. And I said, that's the Uberwagon. And for some reason, that seemed like a good idea to write a song about. And now you are all getting in. You take an Uber.
That's funny. You know what? I just realized that.
Yeah.
I literally just put that together. You were you see the future.
Yeah. Anybody else? Moving on. Lightning round.
OCD.
Shit.
OPP.
Yeah, I wrote this when I was like 2021, the lyrics. And I think I just saw some program on what OCD was. So I thought it was cool and wrote lyrics. And later on in life, I guess probably that was a little insensitive, especially because later on we did have a drummer in our band who had OCD. But he didn't hold it against me, to his credit. And I wouldn't write a song like that now.
I remember making some bad comments and not knowing, but oh well.
Hopefully those things never come back for you. Anything to add, Rob? No?
I'll let you guys handle this one. I played on it, but I think a lot of those songs were written before I was in the band. There might have been a couple on there. Yeah. Well, Uberwagon, you had, but I added the keyboards to it. OCD, Mike Fasano had already added keyboards, and like I don't remember the rest of the tracks, but I half of it was like ready for me when I came in. So It's mostly you guys, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in Schaumburg, that rehearsal studio.
Yeah.
We were in there a lot. I was living there also, and so yeah, I remember Rob coming into that studio and then having the keyboard set up and playing with
That
it.
was the best practice spot we've ever had, by the way.
It was awesome.
Love that place.
That was so good.
Look at Renee's head. We covered that. Do you have anything to add, Jason?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It's just worn out.
And it's good. Lightning round.
That was a good song. I mean, that was us really dabbling in like jazz, loungy.
Yeah, that was just a late night writing as we go. And
that was the clarinet, right?
Yeah.
I was so impressed with that, Rob. The fact that you picked up that clarinet and you did not put it down until you figured it out.
Yeah,
and you did it fast.
That was like one of my first self-taught instruments, and it's actually like people say it's a really hard one to play, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that was fun. I still have. I don't know if it's the same clarinet. I still own a clarinet. It must be the same clarinet. I bust it out on occasion.
Do you remember buying another clarinet?
I think I actually did. I think I've had 2 clarinets, but I think the first one was like lasted like a couple of weeks, and it was like I knew it was awful. You know.
All right. How to Kill Just About Everyone. That was
angry.
Lord. I came up with the title before the song. I'm like, yeah, How to Kill Just About Everyone.
Yeah, that was a rocking song, man. It was fun to play live. I remember that.
Yeah, that one came out well.
Very aggro.
All right. Lightning round, French pastry. That's all you do.
French pastry.
You're singing the.
That's right. I sang that. Yeah, it was fun. It was us being really creative with some stuff there. I liked it.
It was a song that I don't necessarily like or wanted to represent Tubbering, but I liked the song a lot, if that makes sense. It was a good learning experience.
That intro. That was cool.
I still like that song.
Yeah.
All right. Bringing back French pastry. Malabsorptive.
That was one of our really. I like that.
Experimental, I would think. Remember, we would play it opening up sets, and we would stretch it to like 15, 20 minutes and just piss everyone off and make half the crowd leave.
Yeah.
Why did we do things like that? We did things like that a lot. Like we had the Bite the Wax Tadpole thing where you held one note, or no, it was Robots, wasn't it?
No. We did it with robots too. Yeah.
And just hold a note and piss people off, and we found that funny. But we
Was
used
that
to
a lot?
do more Dorktive Live. When I went to high school, one of the things, kind of now it would be a YouTube challenge, was a bunch of people were trying to swallow like a pebble or some kind of marble and then poop it out. And once they do, they would pull it out and drill a hole in it and wear it around the necklace after school. And they said it's done the journey. So that was kind of malabsorptive. I was thinking about doing the journey through the digestive system.
Kind of like Lemmy Winks.
Very much like Lemmy Winks. I was first down. All right. Float. This was his clarinet. I have nothing to say about the song. I'm embarrassed.
I remember writing this, like that song. I forgot the name of the band. Love me, say that you love me.
Cardigans? The Cardigans.
Yeah. Yeah, but that riff in that song, it was, I don't know, it stuck with me. It seems like it was a hit song at the time. I thought, I'm going to write something like that. So the bass line in Float is very similar to actually that song. Not a good song, though.
No. Really not a good. Yeah. Okay. And then there's Joe.
Another aggro.
A little aggro. It's about that friend that's never happy.
We all got that friend.
We all got that friend. We all have our joy. And finally,
Bustin or Nutt.
Which
our sexiest song, really, isn't it?
I'm sorry?
Is it our sexiest song?
It might be.
I think so.
I don't see myself ever being the person to write lyrics like Bustin' and Nutt.
I know.
But I still and now, like, where did that come from?
I love the remix of that, though.
Okay.
That real industrial one.
Yeah.
I like it.
Cool. Bustin' and Nutt.
Not much to say about that.
Not much to say. That's Super Samurai. Jason, I'm going to move this along. Do you have anything else to add before
I mean,
try to come back to that point?
There's so much, obviously, before all that as well.
No,
maturity levels.
We got time for many bonus episodes. I did plan I was talking to you earlier about old flyers and everything that I wanted to bring out, but
there's a lot.
It
seems like we have more of that stuff. Those were the days before the internet, you know? Yeah. So you just had the mailing lists.
Shit, I used to stay up. I remember physically mailing out hundreds of envelopes, and just the process of doing that would take hours and hours and hours stuffing all those.
Yeah.
When I first joined the band, you guys had a voicemail and a PO box.
That's right.
We were just getters.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
People would call the voicemail. It's like, hey guys, did we update the voicemail message? We should make something new and fresh this week.
Oh god, that shit sucked. just having
like reference the years too. When was this happening? Like sci-fi? That was 97.
That was 97. Yeah, Mashed Potato was like 95.
Sci-fi was 97. So
97 used the unappealing records.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
No records.
You're right. There's still a lot to talk about. More bonus episodes? Who knows?
I think that's more for us than people. So reminiscing. So, but yeah.
Don't go anywhere. I didn't plan on going back to people, but now that I've found that I can, we will. Thank you, Jason. We'll talk some more. All right. Jason. Always good to see him. Sorry that I already had certain things planned. So
good with the format. I'm impressed. This is good.
Thank you. We're going in and out of people. So now it's a you and me little chapter. So I figure we'll do another lightning round.
Okay.
And really the obvious thing then would be to do optics and sonics. So starting off with 2 - 3. That was our hard version of -1. That's about all I have to add on that.
Yeah, that was a fun one. We played that live quite a bit. I think we got sick of playing -1, the slow version, live, and also we had like Tiny Little, which kind of like did the same thing in the set that -1 did. So, but we still loved the song -1, and we just figured out a way to like play it fast, and it was pretty cool. It was a cool version of it. Like I like it probably equally as much as the original. Or close.
And then, actually, well, before I go to the next song, I originally planned to put the uninitiated next on Optics and Sonics, but we were going to save it for something better because we thought it was a good song, but then we never used it for anything. So instead of uninitiated, I put on these next 2 songs just so it felt more like a B-side album. And the 2 songs I added, I don't know, equal 1 missing. Bustin and Nutt again. I can't believe it was on 1 album, and then we did it again. Anything? You got anything? Wow.
I have no recollection of what this sounds like. This Redux version. I don't have Optics and Sonics, and it's not on Spotify, and I haven't listened to it in probably 15 years. I have no idea.
I think it's very similar, but we recorded it with an 8-track and just added some more things. I don't know. I don't remember it either. So then moving on.
Cool.
Panic the Digital Demo. Got nothing to say. We talked about the song. I do mispronounce the word mediocrity on here, or mediocrity. I say mediocrity on this version, but then I realized I said it wrong. So on the actual recording, I fixed that.
Nice.
Keep your head down. I was totally trying to rip off Kill the Barflies by Self on the vocals on this song. And apparently I did a good job because I read a comment once, someone going, this reminds me of Kill the Barflies by Self. You were right. You got anything?
Got nothing. I never liked that song.
Okay. Farnsworth Road. It's another influenced by Mr. Show. But someone else said it reminded them. They're right. There's a skit on there where they're doing the old vaudevillian microphone singing and showing new products. And that was funny. And I think we were recording at the time. And I'm like, that'd be fun to do vaudevillian sounding song like that.
I don't think I had anything to do with that one, but I like it a lot.
Cool. Yeah, the vocals. Sorry, the vocals were written first. I think I just sang it to a click track, and the Brooks Brothers, roughly enforcing nostalgia, wrote all the music to the vocals.
Pretty great.
Now back to The Emperor's Son. It's a B-side. I don't dislike this song or like it anymore. It would have fit on Zoo Hypothesis, I think, but it's a good one to go.
I think your lyrics were pretty cool on that one.
I did like the lyrics on this one, but song-wise, I think we could have. It ended up out. It's a song. You got anything?
No. I remember thinking this was okay, and this almost could have probably made Zoo. If it were a different album than Zoo, or we had so many extra songs, it would have definitely been on any other album.
Yeah. Night Watch Interlude. It's kind of odd because the music for this, I talked about it before, was written by roughly Enforcing Nostalgia. And then I put lyrics to it. And then to pad out the B-side, which they produced too, so they're aware of this, we put this on. Technically, Tubbering had nothing to do with this song.
It wasn't even a Tubbering song.
All right, all the rules have changed. So I kind of feel the same way as Emperor's Son. It's a good one, but Zoo Hypothesis worked together, so this just became a B-side. Lyrically, I mentioned this too. There was a line, "We're not even trying anymore," kind of about shit-talking scientists. And I'm like, that's total critic review bait. And someone took it and used that to go, oh, Tubbering isn't even trying anymore. They said it.
Yeah, well, that was in a review I just read when I was researching one of our record nights. And I remember seeing that. It's really
the review is stupid because it's saying the album isn't as good as Zoo Hypothesis, not catching it's a B-side album of Zoo Hypothesis.
I'll say one thing that's a little off topic, but my train of thought is there's things. I mean, obviously you get a negative review and you can't help but irk you a lot of times, or you get mad. There's only one thing that I hate more than like a stupid negative review is people spelling Tubbering one word. That drives me fucking bonkers. I'll take 1 billion bad reviews over seeing that any day. Like, you know, your spell check is flashing. Oh, this is not right. This is not right. This is not right. And then you click return and you do it anyways. Like, why? Like, it's 2 words. Are you crazy? Come on.
All right. There's a good spiel.
Yeah. Sometimes when I see it and people are like, what's Tubbering up to these days? I'll write back, like, Tub 20 spaces ring is currently not touring. Like, and then like people still do it. They'll respond and they'll put it in one word, and it drives me fucking crazy. Sorry.
Everyone knows how to piss off Rob now. Oop, already did that. And then we put on our cover of One Piece at a Time. You know, I was thinking about a lightning round about the covers, but I didn't do it, so that's not coming up. Couldn't think of much to say. Our label asked us to do a Johnny Cash song because they were putting out all these CDs of bands doing cover songs, and we said we will do every one of them because we just want to get our name out there. And when Johnny Cash came along, is that you, Rob, that brought up One Piece at a Time?
No, Luke Stokes suggested that song. To my shame, to probably all of our shames, I remember doing the Johnny Cash tribute album and not knowing who Johnny Cash was really. So it was like, and maybe we knew, Ring of Fire, but that was it, you know? And so I asked our label buddy, Luke, like, what song should we do? We don't know Johnny Cash. And he said, oh, why don't you do One Piece at a Time? And like looking back, actually, I think One Piece at a Time is kind of a brilliant song. It's pretty awesome. We didn't know, we didn't choose it really. Like, it fell in our lap.
Are the lyrics Shel Silverstein? I know he did. No, there's somebody else. I know he tended to take. Anyway, we recorded that. That's one of our first early recordings too, on like a 4-track or something, which I think it turned out kind of well.
Yeah.
That. We have some really low quality 4-track recordings, but that one's kind of decent. Greenest of Stages. That's a song that didn't make the album. Got anything else?
No, I mean, it's all right.
It's all right. Tried something different on that one.
I remember I was trying to like go for that MIA or not MIA. That was it like that song Milkshake, or maybe it was MIA. It was one of those.
Paper Planes.
Yeah, but it wasn't Paper Planes, and it might have been that Milkshake Brings All Boys to the Yard tune. Also, kind of like into that inspiration. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's a song. Rob, this one's all you.
Was this like going to be on one of my solo records and then we put it on this?
Didn't it? Wasn't it on one of your solo?
Probably. Okay, yeah. This is the only recording I've ever played drums on.
Really?
Yeah, playing drums. It's like and it's a crazy beat too. It's like in 5/4 or something. Yeah, I guess that's kind of cool. But I honestly don't really remember very much about it, and I haven't heard it probably for 15 years.
Mm-hmm. And then it ends with the God Hates Astronauts outro, which is the outro for God Hates Astronauts.
That came out pretty well, if I remember right.
Yeah, and it was a nice little album ender, B-side album ender, lullaby almost. Okay. I think we covered optics and sonics. Well,
somebody asked if we were going to talk about the sonics portion at all.
No, we'll save that. There's too much to start DVD. I think we got one of the Murder Hornets.
What's a murder? Oh, Murder Hornet.
Yeah. I mean, once we get out of I got a text. Once we get out of quarantine, we're gonna have to deal with the Murder Hornets. Have you heard about them?
Yeah, I saw all about that. They look kind of cool.
Yes. Well, just let me know that that's okay. Okay. What do I have next after that? Well, it's time for our second guest of the evening. That would be, let's get him in here right now. Mike Gilmore, drummer extraordinaire.
Hey,
How you doing, Mike?
What's happening? Good to see
Where are you
you.
at right now? Seattle, right?
I'm in Seattle. Yeah, I lived here for 16 and a half years. Pretty crazy.
Long time.
Long while, yeah. I love it though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Sorry I didn't have you on the Super Sci-Fi Lightning Round. You could have, you were on that too.
Oh yeah, totally. It's funny because you were going over some of those titles, and I was like, I have no recollection of what that sounds like. So I'm like, God, I gotta like listen to some of these again. Yeah, vague memories, but they were fun. Yeah.
What are you up to now? I know. Do you ever do stuff with Tunab Ku, or is that?
So yeah, I was. Of course, you guys know, but I quit Tubbring as I wanted to try to form my own thing. I went to move to Seattle with two buddies, and Hunab Ku was like a crazy, it was a crazy schizo metal band, very very experimental. It was fun, and now that's finished, and I've been working on composing for a while. I'm really enjoying composing and scoring stuff, and it's pretty much Yeah, I know you video games. I send you all those weirdo little things I do.
Well, I know you like to play around with the electronics a lot, and I love electronic music. That last thing you sent me had some nice wubs and low.
Yeah, it was fun, man. Like I said, I haven't experimented with those sounds, so I'm really at a cool time for creativity again. It's I stopped. I don't know. You know how like being in bands and that could like sort of mar your relationship when you're in it for so long.
Yeah. With
creativity, why you're doing it in the first place. So yeah, just sort of got back to my roots. I'm like, okay, and I'm just having fun. It's a good thing for sure. Yeah,
I agree. You were not back in the band yet. Well, technically, but you came with us to Holland when we toured Amsterdam.
Oh my God, it was ridiculous.
Any good memories of that, of babysitting Rob?
That was awesome. One of my favorite quotes when I think of you, Rob, is like, well, first of all, I was, we were in that smoke shop or coffee shop, and you guys know my history. And then it was so interesting. It was just such a fun time to watch you guys during that. Rob, you were the epitome. It was ridiculous, man.
To give the watchers a little backstory, like pretty much my like young adult life, like high school, college, right out of college, like I never did any drugs or even had any alcohol. Like I was completely straight edge, probably till I was like 26 or 27. And then we went to Europe to tour, especially in the Netherlands. And we were in Amsterdam for like a couple of weeks. And so it's just like, all right, let's do this. Like I had never smoked pot, barely ever drank before. And
I was in the same boat, right?
And Kevin too, yeah. Kevin, similar to me, didn't drink or do any of this. So Kevin and I, it was like our first time doing anything, not even drinking, but yeah, now we're smoking pot, and it was a crazy time. We just decided to just
blasted off.
Yeah, psychedelics like mushrooms. Yeah.
The first night Rob tried pot, just pot, he freaked out, and he was sure we were gonna die, and just the whole night he was going crazy. But this is earlier. We didn't have cameras on us all the time. It wasn't like phones now. And I remember the whole time going, like, God, I'm so mad I'm missing this. Rob freaking out on pot. No one's ever going to see it. And it's not going to happen again the second time. And so we got home that night, and you were kind of freaking out all night. And then 2 days later is when you did mushrooms. And you did have a camera for that. So I guess I did get to catch it more than once.
Yeah. Is that the night that you peed in the corner thinking it was a toilet?
Yeah.
You're squatting in that.
It's weird too. Like
amazing.
As a side note, it's weird because since then I'm not like a big drug user or anything, but since then I've done a couple other drugs, and there's always a thing with like peeing. Like I don't know what it is. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that was funny, man. Funny, awesome memories. I was just in Amsterdam like last spring, and I went back to the same coffee shop, and I was just like laughing to myself. My girlfriend at the time.
Bulldog or Trees?
Bulldog. Yeah.
We also
got souvenirs for you guys.
The other place, was it called Trees? I guess there was after we went to the Bulldog, we went to another place. Apparently they filmed scenes from Ocean's 12 in there.
Yes.
And that was the first time I got high, and we tried hash. And I remember, so I got high for the first time, and I was just sitting back and zoning out. And they were playing like jam music there, Grateful Dead or something. And he was just playing some beat, something on it that was going on for 7 minutes without changing. And then they finally like changed the rhythm or whatever. And I remember thinking, oh man, I was just getting into that. And I was like, I get it now. This is why people like jam music.
Yes. Yeah, that was such a fun trip, obviously. A lot of fun memories and ridiculous things. I think, of course, that was the time when I put clothespins on my balls. I think, or maybe Jason did, and then
you did. Yeah, you were.
Did Jason light my ball hair on fire? I don't know. Just like stuff you think back, you're like, what?
I can see Jason down there, and he's making a face, so I don't think he lit your ball hair on fire.
No, he didn't. Damn it.
That tour is like one of the best memories of all time. That was
so fun. So fun, funny. Do you talk to any of those guys anymore?
I'm friends with a couple of them on Facebook, but like not like regularly.
Yeah.
And I got back in the band now, Choice of Catastrophes.
Yes.
What's your take on that?
Man, you guys know that was such an amazing, God, we've grown so much. We grew together a lot. I mean, like what we did, God, how long Tubbering was together after I was in it. And I think I mentioned this to you, Rob. I don't know if I mentioned to you this, Kevin, but like after I left, Tubbering became one of my favorite bands because I could actually, it was weird because you guys were growing, we were all growing so much musically, and you guys came to really amazing writing fucking ridiculous shit, and I was like, holy fuck. And then just to come back was cool because I've grown so much and took my journey, and Sean and Patrick and working, it was just ridiculous, man. Everyone was so talented, like independently, and you would think maybe too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing, but no, man. I think
Definitely feel like that.
you get older and like you sort of lose your ego. You're like, whatever, okay, let's try this. I don't know, it could be fun, and sort of take that as a challenge. Yeah, it was a great time. I had a lot of fun. I hope we do it again.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, Mike, it was good talking to you.
Yes, great talking to you guys.
Yeah.
Good seeing you. We'll talk soon. I'm gonna hang out, and then, well, of course, I'll just watch.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
See ya. Let me go back to this. See ya. Whoops. Hi, Mike. All right. So what do I have in my next section? Oh, this part's good. Okay. So been reading through a lot of questions. Maybe I can answer a couple of them real quick. First, most importantly, a typical gestation period for a squirrel is about 44 days. The more common ground squirrel, gray ground squirrel, is about a month. They tend to have about 2 to 5 kittens per litter, and they're called kittens. So there's that question that's been pressing that we got. Another question we get a lot, obviously, is when are you going to record a new album or what's going on with that? So I figure since most of us live in California now, we are kind of required almost by law to write an album about that. So I made up an album title or an album and a little mock-up cover here. Figure we can call it Tubbering, Calcium, Lithium, Fluoride, Oxygen, Radon, Sodium. I wrote up some song titles here that we can get to. L.A.liens, that's how you pronounce that. Hollyweird Boulevard. We got Self-Discovery at the In-N-Out Burger. It's kind of a Helicopters of Oppression. That's a heavy one. That one's deep. Taco Truck Traffic. Why is this guy screaming at me? That's Dodging Rental Scooters, and then closing it all off with, well, actually, I know Brad Pitt personally, and he says.
That's hilarious. We could, I'll tell a fun little side story. Also, Kevin and we've been hiking in the Hollywood Hills to keep exercise going while we're in quarantine. And we just learned that Flea is one of our neighbors. So maybe we can get him in on this somehow.
You totally want to be part of it. All right, let me turn that. Shit. He's gotten onto the thing now. The murder hornet.
It took me a while. I caught it a little bit ago. It's good.
Well, yeah. Had some fun with Photoshop. Or maybe it's a real murder hornet just hanging out there. Okay, well, I got that out of the way. Then that means it is time for our next guest, guitarist extraordinaire, Patrick Windsor. How you doing, Patrick?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Very well. Except I got this murder hornet just hanging out here.
Yeah, it's the size of your head. It's pretty fucking gnarly. I just feel I was like how many other ways could 2020 just punch us in the dick? You know?
Yeah.
Just fucking
murder hornets.
Murder hornet just stinging you right in the dick.
It's really the greatest name of anything ever made ever, I think.
Yeah, it's like part entire hive just decapitating, just tearing off.
Murdering things.
I'm out, man. Mike, I know you live in Washington. That's where they are. Mike, you're gonna have to go hunt them shits down.
That's right. Mike's got the murder hornets. I can see him laughing.
Yeah.
Okay, what do I have? So, how are you? What have you been doing with your time during this fun?
During all this, I'm still working a lot. Fortunately, I did not lose my job, and I work from home. So that's super exciting. I work for a guitar manufacturer, so just talk about guitars all day. And finally, it took me about like 4 weeks, but I finally started getting like productive and working on music and writing tunes and playing guitar, recording guitar. So it's been good. The words "I'm bored" have never come out of my mouth, so I'll call that a success. You know.
Excellent. Patrick played on both Choice of Catastrophes and Secret Handshakes. Toured with us a bit on Secret Handshakes. You were talking briefly about almost dying in Texas. I don't know if I remember the story. Is that Switchblade? Or?
Yeah. Okay. So it was the Secret Handshakes tour, and that was a couple stints. And the first one was when we played South by Southwest, and that was the first time I was in Texas. So we played Austin, and like that, Austin and South by Southwest is just like doesn't feel like Texas, but. Then we played in Denton, Texas, and I'm gonna like tell a story with the preface that I really like hope this person is watching because I'm sure he's a fan. But it's like nothing bad about him. I just thought you were gonna kill me if. So like it was at this place in Denton. Which side note about Denton, if I remember right, that picture of you, Rob, with the keyboard with the fucking blood all over the place.
That was Denton, Texas.
Yeah. So we get there and there's like tumbleweeds going down the street. I'm like, oh shit, this is Texas. So, like show opens and I was wearing this like alien shirt, like the movie Alien, and dude comes up to me and he's like, hey, man, let me have your shirt. And I was like, no, this is like show, I don't know, 4 or 5. That I had with you guys, and I was just like, no, man, it's my shirt. Like I gotta wear my shirt. And he's like, come on, man, let me have that shirt. So I kept saying no, and he goes, okay, man. Tell you what, I'll trade you this. And he pops open a switchblade, and opens up the switchblade. And then I was like, this is how I end. Like,
right, which seems like you're about to get cut.
Yeah, like this is the end of it.
Why don't we trade a switchblade?
Yeah, but fortunately, he actually just wanted to trade a switchblade, to which I still said no. But it was your birthday, Kevin. And
no, it was. It was my birthday.
Yes, it was. And I think Rob ended up trading it for some merch, and we got the switchblade and named it Stella.
Stella.
And, yes, and we ended up using that switchblade to cut your birthday cake.
That's correct.
And now
we brought the birthday cake, and I think James Lee was the guy with the
that sounds right. Yeah, we cut that birthday cake with that rusty ass switchblade, and I think now we're all immune to Corona.
Is that why you haven't gotten it? All right, that worked out well for me.
That was it. I also
fan who might be listening to this right now. He just posted on our Facebook page the other day.
Yeah,
he's a good guy.
You're a nice dude, no harm, no foul. But I straight up thought you were gonna stab me.
I'm sure that might be one of the lesser stories in James's repertoire of things.
Yeah.
I don't think you'd offend him with that.
That's fair. Yeah. So that was like, and we like started with the South on that tour. And I don't think I had been in the South a whole lot at that time. Like we did like Arkansas first, or close to first. And I think I wore a fuck racism shirt when we played
in the South.
Yeah, we played with Framing Hanley. Do you remember that show?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my recollection of that show too. Tell me if this is right. We played that show, but we had that show booked first, and then Framing Hanley hopped on the bill and fucking packed the place.
Yeah.
But like our initial contract still held up, so I just remember like Trevor running out with a wad of cash, just being like, "Let's go!" before they figure it out.
One of the few times it worked out for us.
Yeah.
Usually the opposite.
Yeah, I remember them having a huge ass touring bus, and I just thought, man, you should save that cash, bro.
Hanley and their giant tour bus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of them before since. No offense.
No.
Maybe they're great.
They had that Lil Wayne cover, right?
Did they? Yeah. You know more than I.
That's it.
And you too on. Let's discuss Choice of Catastrophes. Do you have any memories, feelings?
Yeah, so one of the funny things that I was thinking watching the other nights where you guys were talking about like your list of favorite records, I thought one of the thoughts I had was that it was like ludicrous to me that like my thought is always like as an artist, my latest thing is my favorite. Always.
Yeah.
It's always like, this thing that I just did fucking blows everything else away. And so like, if you just like went sequentially down like through my career, I would be like, yeah, this is the best thing I ever done. This is the best thing I ever done. This is the best thing I ever done. So like, it was like crazy.
I'll go down a number when I release something else.
Yeah. So like, I just thought that was weird to like, I don't know, go back and be like, but this one. But yeah, I had a great experience. It was interesting how it progressed because like, we initially had been like, oh yeah, let's do an EP. We'll all get together. We'll write some tunes all in this room together. And then it kind of became apparent that, okay, this isn't going to be an EP. This is going to be something bigger. Also, we are not going to be finishing it all here. So we're going to have to do all this later. But yeah, studio's great. It's the only time I've ever gotten to record on a grand piano. Honestly, that whole experience doing that record was kind of like the catalyst for where my own stuff went after that, because like I felt like tracks like we were doing horn arrangements on, and a lot of that stuff sounded a lot more poppy, and I know like Rob, you kind of had a lot of 60s pop kind of sounds to a lot of the stuff that you've done in the past, and I felt like a lot of that came out from Choice of Catastrophes, and then it kind of pushed me into a direction of doing like full horn arrangements for a lot of my stuff. So like basically that moment of doing that record pushed me into doing Black Metal House, which is the stuff that I'm doing now, that I've been doing ever since. So it was super nice experience all around the board, especially getting to meet the old dudes that I didn't work with or tour with in the past, and then the ones that I did tour with, seeing those guys again. So it was a great experience.
Yeah, you're into a lot of good pop music, obviously.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you guys had a Jellyfish sounding band. Jellyfish is the best band ever to record. So I think I will have to hear that stuff. Speaking of which, wait, did you hear the new Jellyfish side project that's coming out next week?
Mm-mm.
It's called
Roger Manning. I mean, Andy Storm doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah, it's 3 dudes from Jellyfish.
Jason Falk, Roger Manning, and maybe his brother, but Andy Sturmer's the big one. And
Andy's not in it. Andy, I don't know if is he alive? Like what?
He's alive. I think I heard him do, he was on an album called I don't know if it was LFO or something. It was a fake band to make songs that sounded like ELO. And Danny Sturmer was on it. Matt Mahaffey was on it. A bunch of people. It's a good album. You probably love it.
Nice. Yeah. He does a lot for cartoons and
yeah.
And they did the Yumi record and that stuff. But yeah, this new one's like it's Roger Manning, dude from what is it, Tim Smith? Anyway, a few of the Jellyfish people, but it sounds like Jellyfish. So if you want to
check it out,
it's really good.
Cool. Well, it's good talking to you, Patrick. Hold on, maybe I'll try to get everyone here for a second. I think let me bounce you off. That kind of is all the lightning rounds and everything I had. I do want to get this one. Wait, no. Go. So I'll just say bye to everyone. I don't know if we wanted to. That wasn't as quick as the switch I wanted to do there, but
that was pretty good.
Thank you. Maybe I can get the rest of the guys on here. Let's see if I can do them all. Yeah, I don't know if I have. Oh, I can't do it that way. Oh, Jason has one too.
Oh, you beat me to it.
Murder hornet. The murder wasp. So that's all I did. Does anybody have anything else to say?
Yeah, Candace said the same shit that you did, but doesn't everybody almost die in Texas at some point?
Really? Yes, that's funny. I made the same exact joke, Candace. I haven't read any of the comments. I'm sorry. I've been too busy worrying about getting murder wasps up or murder hornets.
I live an hour from Denton now.
Really? So how's that working out for you?
Fine. It's college town.
That's good.
Okay, Cupid.
Okay, can I ask a random question? Jason, have you ever been to a hell house?
A hell house?
Yeah.
What is that?
Those are the super Christian haunted houses.
Oh no.
That's
No.
pretty.
Sounds amazing though.
Yeah.
I'd have to look into that.
Look it up. I'm like dying to go one day.
Let's do it.
Well, everyone, thanks for joining us tonight.
Wait, hold up. I thought we were doing our song number at the end where we all do like this 5-part.
All right. That's next episode. Next bonus episode.
The Brady Bunch. The Brady.
It's been fun. Nothing planned coming up, but once again, who knows? This went over well. Hopefully you guys all had fun. Maybe we'll do it again soon. There's still lots of stuff to just shoot the shit about.
Definitely.
So-
Thanks for having us, man. That was awesome. It was fun.
Thanks for coming in, everyone. This was fun.
Guys, I miss you and Korean barbecue.
Hopefully that place stays open.
Yeah, freaking better.
Yeah, we're gonna lose a lot of good restaurants, aren't we?
I heard that possibly my favorite LA restaurant, Little Pine, might be going under because of this, and that sucks.
Shit.
I drove down to Portillo's during
There's-
quarantine.
They'll stick around.
Okay, because first of all, you can get anywhere you want in LA right now because there's no fucking traffic. And so we were there in like 50 minutes, which is impressive, and literally just like went through the drive-thru and ate in the parking lot and just cried over a hot dog.
Kevin just had Portillo's.
I did. Yeah. Rob's girlfriend's brother, who I'm also friends with, probably didn't have to say that, went and got a big thing of beef and brought it, and we froze it and ate it for a few days. But also told him to bring me back a burger because I haven't had a good Portillo's burger in a while.
Yeah, I got the pounder, the pound of beef and brought it back and made that later too. My whole apartment smelled like fucking hot beef for like.
That's why.
Piece of home.
I tried the shipping thing, the whole Portillo's mail thing. It's not the same.
No?
No.
Do you, when you're on tour, or Mike, when you go back there, do you guys both get Portillo's?
It's necessary almost. Yeah, every trip I think I've had it. Yeah, I have to.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You go there on tour, Jason?
Oh, always that
Yeah.
and the Owl's beef.
Yeah.
And there's Portillo's in Arizona as well, and in Florida.
Nice.
Oh, what? In Florida?
Yeah,
Good.
that's the most recent one.
Tampa.
I ordered Lumalnatis during this too. I was like, I need to come up with some shit to like get excited about something. So, $65 on 2 tiny ass pizzas or whatever, but
Get to have Illuminati's again.
it was good.
Okay. Well, I said bye, and then we talked about food for 5 minutes.
No, we're gonna talk about Chicago.
Yeah. Now I think I'm hungry, and I'm going to go have dinner.
Yeah.
Thanks again, you out there, you all here. This has been fun. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. Stay safe and healthy, and have a wonderful evening. Thanks a lot, everyone. Good night.
Goodbye.
Yeah.